sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932, protecting the future of working families. Teamsters1932.org.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network, 1050 AM, 102.3 and 106.5 FM. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Up Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.
Hey guys, welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. Glad to be with you this Sunday at 3 o'clock. This is going to be my first time hosting the show. My name is Dylan Bruno, and glad to be with you guys today. Today we're going to cover a topic that I feel is kind of all-encompassing, but you definitely can apply it to your life. And the topic is freedom. How do you define freedom for yourself? Okay? Where you are right now in your life, how do you define freedom? Do you consider yourself free? Are you experiencing the freedom that you dreamed of when you were, I don't know, a kid, teenager, maybe fresh out of college? If you're a little older, are you experiencing that freedom? You know, freedom can be defined in all kinds of ways, but let's try to define it here, okay? First of all, freedom is not free. So the word itself is an oxymoron, but let's dive a little bit deeper into that. It does cost. There is a price to freedom. And there are two types of freedom. There's the freedom to do as you please without restraint, and then there's the freedom that comes with restraint, aka discipline, right? So what type of freedom do you fall into in terms of how you where you are in life right now? What freedom path did you go down in your life to get you where you are today? Okay? I would venture to say that the second type of freedom, the freedom that comes with restraint, which sometimes does not seem like freedom at all because it requires discipline. I would say that that type of freedom is actually the real freedom. And I'm going to frame this conversation around entrepreneurship as a way to get free in this system that we live in today, in this capitalist system that we live in today in the West. Because everybody's trying to, just have all the trinkets that this society tells us that we got to have in order to feel free. So at the end of the day, a lot of us are trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I don't necessarily call that freedom, right? I think when we relinquish all those expectations, that's when we start experiencing true freedom, because then we're not guided by society's standards, right? We're not led like a ball and chain into the fiery furnace of materialism, but we're guided by our own intuition, so to speak, our own creativity, which is, I think, is the highest form of freedom. And entrepreneurship, in its truest sense, gives us that freedom. Fun fact, does anybody know where the word entrepreneurship derives from? Well, if you look it up, it's a French word, okay? And it means to take action. Think about it, guys. Every time you hear the word entrepreneurship, you're thinking about business. Business, right? But when you break down the word, it means to take action. And the English equivalent to that word is a general contractor, right? Now, if you break down the word contractor, right, what does that mean? You take con, which means with, and tractor, which means traction, right? So you got with traction, with action. That's all it means. So if you're taking action in your life of any kind to separate yourself from the masses, right? Separate yourself from the those of us who do not even have any type of ambition or motivation at all, if you take action, you're an entrepreneur. Okay? So there, we cleared that up. But yeah, entrepreneurship, I would say, is one of the greatest ways to exercise your own brand of freedom. Okay, whatever that is. I don't care if you're selling apples on the corner, you got a hot dog stand or something like that. Um, I would I would venture to say that you're doing something. You're taking a risk than the average person wouldn't take. In third world countries, this whole capitalist system, this whole corporate system is not as established and entrenched. So you'd go to a third world country, or what we call a third world country, right? And most people over there are selling some kind of, item on the street to make a living. The entrepreneurship culture is ingrained in them that they got to go out there and they got to get it, right? Whether they're selling apples, shining shoes, whatever it is, you know. So when quote unquote immigrants come over here, they already have that. They already have that ingrained in them to make their own way. It's not like they come over here and you know, they just look for jobs. They want to start a business, and we see it all over the place, right? They want and sometimes us as Americans, we look at that and say, "Hey, how did they come from that place and they surpassed us?" Because they come from a place where they had no choice but to be entrepreneurs. They had no choice but to go out there and get it out of the mud, so to speak, right? They didn't have, corporate, establishments over there where they can go to work. Maybe now it's a little different because we have a more global society. But they weren't born into that. They were born into, okay, we got to start this business here, whatever it is, to keep the family fed, to keep the family afloat. And so they already have that psychology when they come here. Okay. So if we can learn from that, and I'm not saying everybody has to be a business owner, all right, but just the principle itself of taking action, right, of not depending on a corporate structure to support us, because as we've seen in the last few years, that stuff can crumble anytime. And I'm even talking about the educational system. You go to school and you get a degree, and that degree may serve you and it may not. And I would say 80% of the time in today's world, it doesn't. And I always stress, you got to be strategic when you're talking about higher education. Not because everybody's doing it or it's the thing to do. It can be the biggest mistake that you make financially if you just follow the crowd. And unfortunately, a lot of us are paying the price. A lot of our young people are paying the price today. And some of you older folks still paying the price. You're still paying off those student loans. Some of you may never pay it off. So, yeah, I think entrepreneurship, or at least thinking about starting something independent of the corporate ladder, should be something taught in the home, right? These are principles that should be taught in the home because, this society loves to churn out worker bees, right? And I think if you really care about the future generations, you should think about, not steering your kids, okay, or just, not only steering them into the corporate world to get that piece of paper, because, they can really run into a brick wall. And so we're tying this back to freedom, right? What is freedom? Well, when you talk about entrepreneurship, I would say it falls into the category of freedom that comes with restraint, right? Because there is a price. There's a price to pay. It's not for everybody, and if you don't count the cost, then you're just going to be wasting your time. All right. So, by the way, guys, if you want to call in, okay, you can call in locally to talk about this subject and give your take on what we're talking about here. The local number is 909-792-5222 or 909-792-KCAA, same thing. Or you can call in toll free at 888-909-1050. Feel free to call in, and I would love to field your questions, and we can have a good discussion on this topic here. Because at the end of the day, this affects us all. We think about this all the time, and if you say you don't think about it, you're getting up in the morning every day, going to that job or whatever you do, even a business, right? And you're constantly thinking. The only reason you're going there is because you're trying to buy time, right? You're trying to buy time. Sorry, guys, if you didn't hear me, I was away from the mic a little bit. Yeah, you're trying to buy your time back. I don't care what it is you're doing, because the most valuable thing is your time, and right, and so it's important to think about how you're going to spend your time. Okay, if you're going to be working to buy it back. Most of our lives we're going to spend working, right? The only free time really in our lives is maybe in the older years and our extremely younger years. In between that time frame, we are working, okay? That's most of our lives. That's most of our lives. So in this quest for freedom, why not make that the vast majority of our lives something that we enjoy and something that adds value to the rest of the world? So we're not just a cog in the wheel, okay? I mean, how many times have you heard someone retiring from a job and maybe living 2 months after that? You worked 30 or 40 years only to kick the bucket, for lack of a better term, 2 or 3 months after you retire. You worked 30 or 40 years to get all those assets that you've acquired over that time to only to not be able to enjoy it. So we don't want that for ourselves, right? So we want to think about how we can have a quality life, instead of just living. All right? So feel free to call in, guys, so we can talk about this. I'd love to hear from you about this subject if it piques your interest. If it's been heavy on your mind where you are in life and you're not satisfied, you're not happy. I think all of us feel that way at times when we come to a crossroads. We think we're doing everything right, but we still feel that there's something missing there. Well, could be the fact that we're not as free as we think we are, even though we have all the toys and the money in the bank and this and that. We still feel like we're hamsters on a wheel. It's got to be more to life than that, right? Well, I'll tell you guys a little bit about my entrepreneurship journey. Okay, it was all about service for me, and I started a company to serve people in the home improvement world. Came up with a line of home improvement products, and for me, no, I'm not where I want to be, but I'll tell you one thing, I am fulfilled because, for the past 3 years, I've been educating my audience and anybody who chooses to watch me on the different platforms out there, educating them on how to use tools to be confident and to give them that independence that they probably never had, from whoever, right? Okay. Be right back, guys. The worst thing a homeowner can do is be without a good set of tools. Don't find yourself caught without the right tools. The Real Men of Real Estate's Ultimate Utility Bag ensures you're equipped for any DIY task. With high-quality essentials like a hammer, measuring tape, multi-tool, and Exactac picture hanging tool housed in a sturdy bag, you'll be ready for anything. It's not a good feeling when you have to stop right in the middle of a project because you didn't have that tool that you should have had in the first place. Introducing the Real Men of Real Estate's Ultimate Utility Bag from Caliber 8. This ultimate all-around-the-house tool bag includes essentials like a non-slip grip 16-ounce claw hammer with a nail starter, which is perfect for keeping your fingers safe from getting smashed, a durable 16-foot measuring tape, which is a must in any toolkit, the Caliber 8 Multi-Max Pocket Tool, which features a 6-inch locking-style adjustable pocket wrench, 5-position wrench, 2 Phillips, and 1 flathead screwdriver, a durable stainless steel pocket knife, can and bottle opener, saw blade, and LED flashlight so you don't have to get caught in the dark. A compact toolkit small enough to fit in your glove compartment or your kitchen drawer, with a utility knife, 2 Phillips and flathead precision screwdrivers, a mini socket set, a box of wood and machine screws, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, and a driver set with flathead Phillips and Torx style bits, and the Exactac picture hanging tool, which makes picture hanging easy with no measuring required or stray holes to deal with. With everything you need conveniently packed in one sturdy bag, you'll be ready for any DIY task. Call area code 619-453-4664 or visit realmenofrealestate.com. The first 10 shoppers get a 10% discount with promo code TOOLS. That's TOOLS. The worst thing a homeowner can do is be without a good set of tools. Don't find yourself caught without the right tools. The Real Men of Real Estate's Ultimate Utility Bag ensures you're equipped for any DIY task. With high-quality essentials like a hammer, measuring tape, multi-tool, and Exactac picture hanging tool housed in a sturdy bag, you'll be ready for anything. It's not a good feeling when you have to stop right in the middle of a project because you didn't have that tool that you should have had in the first place. Introducing the Real Men of Real Estate's Ultimate Utility Bag from Caliber 8. This ultimate all-around-the-house tool bag includes essentials like a non-slip grip 16-ounce claw hammer with a nail starter, which is perfect for keeping your fingers safe from getting smashed, a durable 16-foot measuring tape, which is a must in any toolkit, the Caliber 8 Multi-Max Pocket Tool, which features a 6-inch locking-style adjustable pocket wrench, 5-position wrench, 2 Phillips, and 1 flathead screwdriver, a durable stainless steel pocket knife, can and bottle opener, saw blade, and LED flashlight so you don't have to get caught in the dark. A compact toolkit small enough to fit in your glove compartment or your kitchen drawer, with a utility knife, 2 Phillips and flathead precision screwdrivers, a mini socket set, a box of wood and machine screws, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, and a driver set with flathead Phillips and Torx style bits, and the Exactac picture hanging tool, which makes picture hanging easy with no measuring required or stray holes to deal with. With everything you need conveniently packed in one sturdy bag, you'll be ready for any DIY task. Call area code 619-453-4664 or visit realmenofrealestate.com. The first 10 shoppers get a 10% discount with promo code TOOLS. That's TOOLS.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Do you remember the power of dreaming? M. Teresa Lawrence helps us all reconnect with imagination through her renowned Leadership of Play coaching program. Schedule a session with Teresa on Instagram at Your Trueness to ignite creativity and pursue huge dreams once more. Don't let your spark fade. DM Teresa at Your Trueness today and reclaim the magic of dreaming.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316 and become one of the finest women in real estate.
All right, guys, we're back with the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show live on KCAA Broadcasting Network. And in the last segment, we were touching on the concept of freedom and how entrepreneurship is, at least in the West, in the system that we live in America, I think, is one of the, surest ways to the freedom that most of us dream about and most of us seek. I mean, we've all heard of the American dream and stuff like that. Regardless of what you think about it, people come here from all over the world just to achieve some, what that represents to them compared to where they came from, right? And regardless of what you think about America and all its flaws, and trust me, there's a lot of them, you do have the opportunity to, achieve that freedom. And that's the great thing about it. Okay. I mean, we can cry about all the negatives all day long, and I'm not minimizing the impact that it has on people, right? Even myself. But at the end of the day, you gotta make it happen, right? And I tend to look at life as a gym, right? You go to the gym and you work out. And what's happening when you're lifting those weights or whatever you're doing? Let's talk about resistance training. You're breaking down the muscles. That's pretty much what you're doing when you're lifting weights. You're breaking down the muscles, the muscle fibers, and during the rest periods, that's when they, build themselves back up, or I don't want to use the term heal, but that's when the growth happens. Okay, so when you're going out there and you're taking on the world, that's the growth aspect of it all. When you're taking the blows, you're stepping in the ring and you may get knocked down 2-3 times, but you get back up. That's the growth. Okay, that's growth. But I don't want to stray too far from the topic at hand. I spoke of some of the negatives, and I don't want to harp on it too much, but let's talk about women for example, right? Because sometimes they tend to be the lowest common denominator when it comes to inequities, at least one of the lowest common denominators that you can tie some of the inequities to in our lives. Okay, they face a lot of challenges, just like other groups. For example, the pay gap. It says on average, women working all year and full time make only 83.7% of what men make. So what does that tell you, ladies? And this goes for everybody, right? That means saving your money or investing your money, which is even better, may take you longer, right? But it's even more imperative that you do that, considering where you are in terms of the hierarchy of the pay scale. Not only that, if you're a mother, you got other challenges to deal with, right? And that's pretty obvious. You got to raise kids. That's expensive. You got to put them in daycare. You may have to work part-time instead of full-time. So that means that cuts your savings and investings in half because you're raising kids. Okay? It says that the income for women tends to drop 30% after having kids. And all that's part of what it means to, to live in a capitalist system where your time in terms of labor is more valued than anything else. So in a sense, we are cogs in the wheel, right? So yeah, so not to mention if you're a single mother, that's even, that adds another dimension to it. You probably can cut your saving and investing probably by another, I don't know, third, right? So yeah, and then the whole financial literacy topic, which has been big for the last few years now. And I'm so grateful that the internet has allowed a lot of people who would not have become financially literate to become financially literate because of the democratization of information. And so that's a good thing, okay? But if you haven't been exposed to some kind of financial education, like, when I was coming up, I wasn't exposed to it. And I had a father that was an accountant, I had a mother that worked in billing in the companies that she worked for. But we never sat down and had to talk about money. And, the results of that lack of education made itself pretty apparent in my life. Imagine knowing about, investing at a young age, knowing about real estate, knowing about stocks. But I can't fault them for that too much because they weren't taught. So, if you have that kind of education, I think it's very important that you teach your kids, right? Give them some kind of financial education because they're not teaching in schools like they should. And there's reasons for that. We all know. But this all ties into the freedom that they will experience later in life. The freedom that you're experiencing now, I would venture to say, is a result of your financial education or the financial education that you had throughout your lifetime. And not just the education, but the support, right? The support to push you into saving and investing and all that stuff. How many of you guys out there were pushed to do that stuff as kids? No. A lot of us are learning that in our later years. And but hey, it's no use crying over spilled milk. Now you know. And this all ties into what I'm talking about today is freedom, right? I didn't come on here today to just let's all be free and hold hands. No, there are steps. There are steps you have to take in order to experience freedom. And financial literacy is a big part of that. Okay? Now back to the ladies. You guys usually live longer than men, typically around 5 years longer. Okay? So which means that after he's gone, if you have, say, a husband that died and left you something or whatever, you have to be able to fund your life. Okay? At least 5 more years of it. It's funny. I saw a couple of individuals online the other day living well into the early 100s, or they were like 109 years old. One of them was 100 and maybe 15. I don't know. But that's not, that's a rare thing. That most of us are not going to live that long. And I hate to be negative, but we got a plan. You know what I'm saying? You got a plan for your freedom. And this is what I mean when I say freedom costs. There's a price to it. There's a price to freedom. Okay? Not just working, because that won't get you free. And if you think having a good job is going to make you free, then I don't know, maybe you have a different definition of freedom. And I guess we all have to define that for ourselves. Okay, we all have to define that for ourselves. But, some of the steps you can take is, try to figure out different income streams. They call it multiple income streams today. That's the buzzword. Multiple income streams. Figure out ways to establish those. Put a nest egg away. Save some of that money and invest some of that money. Okay, and especially if you have kids, you definitely want to put something aside for them. Okay. So, it's always good to start educating yourself now, Okay? Don't wait. I mean, you got YouTube, you got books, you got articles. There's really no excuse today to learn, right? And all the stuff is free. And all you got to do is take tiny steps, put one foot in front of the other, and trust me, you'll get to where you need to be. You'll get to where you need to be. So if you're feeling stuck right now, just, like I said, open up that laptop or that phone that you're looking at all the social media stuff. Hey guys, we're going to get right back to this topic. I'll see you in a second.
The worst thing a homeowner can do is be without a good set of tools. Don't find yourself caught without the right tools. The Real Men of Real Estate's Ultimate Utility Bag ensures you're equipped for any DIY task. With high-quality essentials like a hammer, measuring tape, multi-tool, and Exactac picture hanging tool housed in a sturdy bag, you'll be ready for anything. It's not a good feeling when you have to stop right in the middle of a project because you didn't have that tool that you should have had in the first place. Introducing the Real Men of Real Estate's Ultimate Utility Bag from Caliber 8. This ultimate, all-around-the-house tool bag includes essentials like a non-slip grip 16-ounce claw hammer with a nail starter, which is perfect for keeping your fingers safe from getting smashed, a durable 16-foot measuring tape, which is a must in any toolkit, the Caliber 8 Multi-Max Pocket Tool, which features a 6-inch locking-style adjustable pocket wrench, 5-position wrench, 2 Phillips, and 1 flathead screwdriver, a durable stainless steel pocket knife, can and bottle opener, saw blade, an LED flashlight so you don't have to get caught in the dark. A compact toolkit small enough to fit in your glove compartment or your kitchen drawer, with a utility knife, 2 Phillips and flathead precision screwdrivers, a mini socket set, a box of wood and machine screws, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, and a driver set with flathead Phillips and Torx style bits, and the Exactac picture hanging tool, which makes picture hanging easy with no measuring required or stray holes to deal with. With everything you need conveniently packed in one sturdy bag, you'll be ready for any DIY task. Call area code 619-453-4664 or visit realmenofrealestate.com. The first 10 shoppers get a 10% discount with promo code TOOLS. That's TOOLS.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Do you remember the power of dreaming? M. Teresa Lawrence helps us all reconnect with imagination through her renowned Leadership of Play coaching program. Schedule a session with Teresa on Instagram at Your Trueness to ignite creativity and pursue huge dreams once more. Don't let your spark fade. DM Teresa at Your Trueness today and reclaim the magic of dreaming.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316 and become one of the finest women in real estate.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show, KCAA Broadcasting Network. Glad to have you here. I am your host, Dylan Bruno. Well, guys, I just want to, kind of piggyback off of the last segment here because I think it's very important that we drive these principles home, right? Because, you got people that you care about in your life, I'm sure, and you want to see them prosper and succeed. And, I know for myself, I wasn't taught these principles. But now that I know them or are aware of them, I feel it's my obligation, to give you these. And, I've been blessed with the opportunity to be on this show and reach a vast audience. So I appreciate anybody in earshot of me, listening to this information, because it can only help you guys. When I was in the military, I was in the Army, Fort Bragg, 82nd Airborne, way back in the days. I'm not going to date myself. But, one thing you learn about when you're in there, I was an infantryman, okay, is you learn that you learn to survive on as little as possible, especially when you're out there in the field. Say you're in basic training, you're doing bivouac and all that stuff. You military guys know what I'm talking about. You're eating the MREs and, just the most minimal, I should say, food that they provide, right? Only just to keep you alive, give you the energy to do those 25-mile road marches and all the military exercise you need to do just in case, the stuff hits the fan and you got to be ready. That's what pretty much the military is, preparing you for that, right? Well, in a sense, you kind of look at your life in the same way, especially if you have a goal towards freedom, financial freedom. Because let's face it, financial freedom is, in a capitalist system, one of the ultimate forms of freedom. You can argue, well, it's spiritual freedom and all that. I happen to think that being well-versed in financial literacy, being well-versed in what financial freedom means and is spiritual, is actually a spiritual act, okay? And so, yeah, I don't separate the two, right? So I know I was talking about ladies in the last segment, but once again, this applies to everybody, all right? Like I said, it's really no excuse today, right, to not have a basic financial, literacy mindset, because there's so much information out there, right, that you just, all you got to do is type it up, right? And they got so many courses, this, that, and the other. So, but I don't want anybody to beat themselves up. That doesn't do any good either, to beat yourself up if you don't know, because I didn't know. And as a matter of fact, I still don't know a lot of things. But what's important is that you start now, okay? Now, disclaimer here, I'm not a financial advisor in any form or fashion, but that being said, you want to develop a budget of sorts, okay? You want to identify your living expenses, okay? You need to know how much everything that you spend money on, how much they cost each month, whether it's the rent, mortgage, groceries, utilities, insurance, okay? You want to have a clear view of your spending habits, okay? You got to be brutally honest with yourself. Where's your money going, right? Do you have a TV subscription or a subscription of any kind that you forgot about and it's still bleeding your bank account, right? Or are you just hanging on to some subscription thinking, oh, well, I'm going to keep it just, you got to have coffee every day. You got to go to Starbucks every day. You got to splurge on this, splurge on that. These are little things. These are what is the saying? Death by 1,000 cuts. Yeah, your financial health can go down the tubes, just these little things. Sometimes it's not the big expenses. It's not the big purchases. It's the little things that you forgot about that's constantly bleeding your bank account, right? And killing you softly, financially. And so it's important that you take a look at your bank statements for the last couple of months and see what's in there that you forgot about, or see what's in there that you don't need, and just cut them out. Take them out in the back of the barn and be rid of them, okay? Because they don't care about you. You got to care about you, okay? Another thing is quit trying to keep up with the Joneses. I know you guys have heard this 1,000 times. You're trying to keep up with the Joneses. Oh, they bought the BMW, so I gotta keep up with them. Or they got the big house, so I gotta keep up with them. Or you heard your friend so successful that and now you feel that you got to keep up with them. You really don't know, right? So you're trying to keep up with a phantom image that sometimes a lot of people put out, especially on social media. You go on Instagram and you see this and that. Everybody's showing their best face on social media. They're not showing you what's behind the scenes. Okay, you just gotta do away with that, and it's so addicting. I know. You're scrolling, you're seeing this and that, and it's silently killing your self-esteem because you're comparing yourself to Joe Schmo or Jane Schmo down the road who's supposedly has all this going on. So yeah, live on less than you make. That's the golden rule of financial independence. Okay, live on less than you make. You can't build, you can't build yourself up if you keep digging ditches for yourself. Okay, and every time you make that unnecessary purchase, you're digging a ditch for yourself. And in a sense, guys, I'm talking to myself too. I'm not just preaching. I'm talking to myself as well. So the only way to keep track, keep track of all this is with a budget. You develop a budget to live on. Especially as an entrepreneur, we spoke about that earlier. That's very important. Okay, that can make or break your endeavors. That can make or break your business, right? And so I started a business, okay, because I wanted to serve. I wanted to serve. Now it wasn't just about the money, and I'll be, I said wasn't just about the money. Of course, money is it's like the currency, it's like the blood that keeps things alive. Yes, but it wasn't just about that. And I wanted to serve. That's why. But I wanted to serve in a capacity where, I felt at home, serving. So I got into the home improvement space. I got into the tool space, right? I love tools, okay? And I invented a tool called the Exactac Picture Hanging Tool. Helps you hang your pictures 100% level, exactly where you want it all the time, okay? And from there, I expanded the product line to different tools that the average homeowner would need. Not necessarily the professional tradesman, but the average homeowner, right? And but let me tell you, that took a lot of time, and it took a lot of living on less. Okay, I just spoke about that, living on less than you make. I lived on less for a good while. Okay. And, just to get it to where it is today. And it's still, it's still in its growing, infancy stages, but it took a lot of sacrifice, right? It took a lot of sacrifice. But fortunately, I'm at a level now where I could be on a show like this and talk about it, right? If it wasn't, then I wouldn't even feel comfortable telling you guys about it. But because I put so much into this, I feel confident talking about making those sacrifices and building it to where it is right now. Okay, so but I had to be disciplined. I had to live on less. I had to have those. I had to get my spending in line. I had to develop good spending habits. I couldn't just be spending on everything. Every dollar had a name for it, right? It's almost like if you have a child, right? If you have a child that you love and care about so much, are you going to take food and milk out of its mouth by going to spend it on something else and not your kid? Well, it's kind of like that with the baby. And you got to look at your financial life that way as well. Okay? It's almost like building a house. Like I said, I'm in the home improvement space. And it's around tools and stuff like that, right? In order to build a house, you have to budget, right? So anyway, guys, I'm going to see you guys right after this, and I'll see you in a minute.
The worst thing a homeowner can do is be without a good set of tools. Don't find yourself caught without the right tools. The Real Men of Real Estate's ultimate utility bag ensures you're equipped for any DIY task. With high-quality essentials like a hammer, measuring tape, multi-tool, and Exactac picture hanging tool housed in a sturdy bag, you'll be ready for anything. It's not a good feeling when you have to stop right in the middle of a project because you didn't have that tool that you should have had in the first place. Introducing the Real Men of Real Estate's ultimate utility bag from Caliber 8. This ultimate all-around-the-house tool bag includes essentials like a non-slip grip 16-ounce claw hammer with a nail starter, which is perfect for keeping your fingers safe from getting smashed, a durable 16-foot measuring tape, which is a must in any toolkit, the Caliber 8 Multi-Max Pocket Tool, which features a 6-inch locking-style adjustable pocket wrench, 5-position wrench, 2 Phillips, and 1 flathead screwdriver, a durable stainless steel pocket knife, can and bottle opener, saw blade, and LED flashlight so you don't have to get caught in the dark. A compact toolkit small enough to fit in your glove compartment or your kitchen drawer, with a utility knife, 2 Phillips and flathead precision screwdrivers, a mini socket set, a box of wood and machine screws, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, and a driver set with flathead Phillips and Torx style bits, and the Exactac picture hanging tool, which makes picture hanging easy with no measuring required or stray holes to deal with. With everything you need conveniently packed in one sturdy bag, you'll be ready for any DIY task. Call area code 619-453-4664 or visit realmenofrealestate.com. The first 10 shoppers get a 10% discount with promo code TOOLS. That's TOOLS.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Do you remember the power of dreaming? M. Teresa Lawrence helps us all reconnect with imagination through her renowned Leadership of Play coaching program. Schedule a session with Teresa on Instagram at Your Trueness to ignite creativity and pursue huge dreams once more. Don't let your spark fade. DM Teresa at Your Trueness today and reclaim the magic of dreaming.
Tired of qualifying your leads and not getting the right clients for you? Join the finest women in real estate and learn how to attract the best clients and increase your referral network. Call now at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316 and become one of the finest women in real estate.
All right, guys, winding down the show, this last segment of the show here. Just to sum it up, guys, I want you guys to have a long-term plan, okay? Just have a long-term plan, and with that is going to come some challenges, and you need to stay the course. Stay the course, and I guarantee you, you will come out on top. A lot of us, we quit right in the middle, right, because it gets hard. Quick analogy there, you know, I remember I was out in the desert in Blythe, California, and I wanted to reach the mountains. And as I neared the mountain range, the terrain got rough, you know, it got rough. And I use that as a metaphor. The closer you get to the top or to the goal, whatever that is for you, in this case, financially, or whatever it may be, it's going to get rough, right? And you got to know this. If you know this ahead of time, you won't be surprised, and you'll be able to navigate those challenges a lot better because you're mentally prepared. A lot of times we're not ready to be hit from behind and stuff like that, and so a lot of us quit and give up. But understand that this is part of the process. Like I spoke to earlier in the show, This is part of the growth process. Think of it as going to the gym. That's all life is. It's one big gym, okay? And how you walk out of that gym depends on how you deal with the weights or the exercise equipment or whatever inside the gym, okay? Yeah, don't be discouraged, all right? Hey, I'm into, like I said before, I've been inventing for a long time. I'm an inventor at heart. I put products out there to help you guys makes your life a little easier, okay? And trust me, it's challenges. Some of my patents, are not even I haven't even put out yet, right? But it costs tons of money, I'm telling you right now. But I did it with the spirit of service. So anyway, guys, I hope you got something from this. If you want to see more of my work, you can go to my YouTube channel, Caliber 8, Caliber, the number 8, right next to the R, tools and DIY. And I put out content every week educating you on how to use tools to make your DIY experience a lot easier. Okay, because a lot of us don't even know how to use the tools to do what we want to do. And I've dedicated the last 3 years to doing that, on these platforms. So, guys, once again, if you really want to be free, start with your financial world. Start with your financial health. Make a goal, and that way you'll have more resources to put toward whatever you want to achieve. Okay? So, guys, next time I talk to you guys, hopefully some of you guys call in and we could have, more of an informal discussion. And I enjoyed being here with you guys today. And feel free to leave some feedback. Take care, guys.